What's up guys, my name is Axmist and today I'm gonna show you how to make a typing animation system like this one. So if you type something, the animation starts playing, and when you're done typing it's gonna go away. So that can indicate that the player is typing. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So first of all, we're gonna add a local script to start our character scripts. Then we can name that script like chat script, just so we know what the script is. Then we're gonna start off by making variables as usual. We're gonna make a variable for the user input service. We're gonna use that to detect whenever the player is typing. And now we're just gonna make some variables for the player, which we're gonna use later on in the video. We're gonna make a variable for the character, so local character is equal to player.character or player.character added wait. So if the character is just added, then it's gonna wait until it's properly been added to the game. We're gonna make a variable for the humanoid of the character, so we're gonna do character wait for child humanoid, and that's all the variables for now. Then we're gonna connect a function using the user input service that began connect function, and we're gonna have two variables in this function. We're gonna have the input, it's gonna be the first, and the second one we're gonna name it processed. What this does is checks kinda if the input is processed. It's kinda confusing, but we're gonna use that in just a bit. So now to check if the player typed a character, we're gonna do if input dot key code is not equal to, so like that means not equal to. If input dot key code is not equal to enum dot keycode dot unknown, then this function is now checking, or this statement is checking if the key code, if the input was a character press, so if the character typed a letter. So now we're gonna add another statement to this, or another check to this statement, and that is and process. So it checks if processed, if the input has processed. Don't really worry about that, but now here the player had typed or typing. So the player is typing right here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually, before we make the animation part, we're gonna add player.chatted. So whenever the player sent a message in the chat, it's gonna connect a function. We're not gonna have any parameters here, and we're gonna send the animate event. So now you gotta make your own animation. I won't show you how to make an animation in this video, but it should be pretty easy to find tutorials about it. But when you do have your animation, you're gonna add a animation, when you have your animation ID, you're gonna add an animation to workspace. So you're gonna paste your animation ID, and as you can see now, if you look at animation ID, it's gonna transfer into a new kind of ID where it says raw RBX asset ID, and that's what you want. So then you can just copy that and delete the animation. Then we're gonna make some more variables for the animation. So I'm just gonna do local anim is equal to instance.new animation, and the animation dot animation ID is gonna be equal to the ID that we just copied. There we go, the ID that we just copied. And then local animations is actually the thing that's gonna play. This is just the kind of animation object. That's the animation object, and here's the actual animation that's gonna play. So animation is equal to humanoid load animation. That's why we made a variable for the humanoid earlier. So it's gonna load this animation. So it's really important that you have the correct ID. And then moving on to the next function. I'm gonna make a function that we can call. That's gonna that's gonna start the animation, and we're gonna have a variable here called switch. Now this switch, depending if we call the function and had this variable to be true or false, it's gonna play or stop the animation. So if switch, actually we need another variable. It's gonna be local playing. So that's that variable is gonna be used to check if the animation is playing. So if switch and not playing, then so it checks if the switch is equal to true and the animation is not playing, because we're gonna set that variable to true whenever the animation is playing. So now here playing is equal to true and animation play. So it plays the animation and sets playing to true because the animation is playing. But then if not, caps lock, if not switch, then playing is equal to false, and as you may have guessed, we're gonna stop the animation. So animation stop. And that's this entire function done. Now we're just gonna call the function. So animate and true. So as you can see here, true is gonna be switch, and then if switch is equal to true, the animation is gonna play. So then right here we want to add a wait of 0.2 seconds or higher, depending on what you want. But the wait is gonna do, so whenever you press enter, this thing is also gonna fire, and it's gonna pick that up as typing because you press enter and processed is equal to true. So these events would fire at the same time and pass that the animation would start and stop. So we have to add a tiny, not even noticeable wait there, so so it works properly. Now if we click play and just test it out, if you have your animation and everything set up, it should work. Yeah, there you go. So now the animation plays, and then whenever I press enter, it stops. So you can have some kind of, I just made this animation very quickly, but as you can see, it kind of looks like it's thinking, my character. So yeah, I hope you find this tutorial useful, and if you did, please consider subscribing and liking the video. If you have any questions or errors about the script and in the script, then my Discord channel is linked in the description. So yeah, I see you in the next one. Peace.